Hello everyone, welcome to another George Crafts art journaling session. Today we are going to do a collage, and I was inspired this week by something I saw in a magazine which was called #offline48, where you stay away from social media and the internet for 48 hours and then you can celebrate with what you did instead. So the idea is to swap scrolling time for some self-care time, so you can do whatever you like, even if it's just sit in the garden quietly with a cup of tea or go somewhere that you've always wanted to go. It doesn't matter what you do, but if you want to, you can share what you did after the 48 hours is up on social media with the #offline48. So what I wanted to do was to think about the things that I want to do when I spend my 48 hours offline as of the end of today, and I thought that'd be a great thing to put in my art journal. So to start with, I've sort of created a bit of a background, and I did this with acrylic paints. I used the techniques that I learned yesterday in Sandra Costello's workshop, so I thought it would be great to show you a little bit what I learned. So the techniques that we learned were sort of how to paint a sea, how to paint a sky, some clouds, and some grasses and plants and things. And I thought, instead of sort of going from a lighter blue to a darker blue, I thought maybe I'd try to go from one colour into another. So I'll show you how I did that. So I've not tried acrylic on craft card before, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. So I've got my paints here, and my paint just a cheap plastic paint palette, and I want to start with blue and end up a sort of coppery colour. So my blue is my lighter one, so I just want to pop that down where I can mix some colour, and then I just want to add a tiny bit of the copper colour to start with. And then we'll gradually build up the amount of copper that we're putting into our paint each time, so that the colour will start to change from the blue into that coppery colour. So I'm going to be quite rough with my painting because I'm not using this as kind of a piece of art or a painting on the wall as such. I'm just creating a background. So the acrylics cover the craft card quite nicely, actually. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little more copper into my paint, and then just carry on painting underneath, and then where the two colours meet I'm just going to do a bit of blending, and then we'll add a little more copper. And I suppose because copper's kind of a reddy colour, and I'm using it with blue, it makes a kind of almost a pale purple colour, which is very nice. These, by the way, these aren't expensive acrylic paints. These are cheap ones from Tiger. Because before yesterday I was only really using acrylics in mixed media rather than just, you know, painting beautiful pictures with. But now I have had a go in the workshop yesterday. Definitely be investing in a few more colours and a few more brushes. Obviously you don't have to use the same colours I'm using. You don't even have to paint your pages if you don't want to. I just fancied doing it because I really enjoyed the workshop yesterday, which you can read the review of, by the way, on the blog, and I'll put a little link below. For those of you that are sort of in the Northamptonshire area, I would definitely recommend coming along to Sandra's next workshop, because she makes it really, really easy and gives you lots of confidence. And I think the next workshop's early September, and we're going to be looking at watercolour, I believe, rather than acrylic, which is something I find really quite tricky, because I definitely don't find watercolour as forgiving as acrylic, but you know, we'll give these things a go and see. You never know. Could find a whole new crafty avenue to explore. If you want to have a look at Sandra's Facebook page, by the way, I'll link it below. But I think it's Sandra's Studio Crafts, all one word, with the number 1 afterwards. A little bit more copper, and then just a tiny bit of blue now. Maybe just a touch more blue. Okay. Mixing up a little bit more paint. And there we go, and that's our kind of ombre style background. And then we'll start to create our collage. So I have got a few different bits and pieces which I've already put some double-sided tape on. I have these 2 papers which I really liked the pattern and the colour of, so I thought I would use those in my background as well. So I'm just sort of covering up a little bit of the paintwork, but that doesn't matter because we're going to put lots of layers on the collage. So I actually really like that cloud, so I am going to just tear the paper so you can see it. So day of self-care should be all about the good stuff. That's for this side. What I would suggest you do is kind of think about where you'd like to put all your different bits for your collage before you stick anything down. So I don't have a cat or a dog, but I do have 2 guinea pigs and I'd quite like to spend some time with them, so that's why I've got the animals. And quite like to listen to some music, so I've got some sheet music here, and that was given to me by Hilary from Woolly Workers to do some journaling with, so thank you very much for that. And I've got some little pictures here that I want to kind of build up a bigger image from. So I'd quite like to spend some time outside with a nice refreshing drink. So I've got this lady having a lovely cup of tea. And some flowers behind her. And I did have some leaves somewhere. Might quite like to do a bit of painting as well. Have another practice with some acrylics. And not only do I fancy doing a bit of colouring, I've got another holiday coming up and I would quite like to look at a few different things that, you know, I might want to do while I'm over on holiday. And as well as music, I've wanted for a while to find a few different things to listen to, including some podcasts. So I've just got some recommendations there that I've picked out of the magazine. And a couple of other things here that I've wanted to do for a while but not really made the time to sort of look at. So this is some information about joining up to a beach clean, and this is some information about encouraging other people to do without straws, plastic or otherwise. Little quote there. And some advice for a day of self-care is smile and think of something happy. And I don't really know if I've got space for this. Could put it up there. Move my beach scene, not my beach scene, my beach clean. Almost there, wasn't it? That's better. So all I have now is to stick those down. I also have another label here because I need to finish some of the work in progresses that I've started, because I've got about 20,000 projects on the go. So we'll be sorting that out. I will find somewhere to stick that very shortly. First of all, I think I want to start sticking down. I think I'll start with this page